Lisa and Amy here, and we're back to talk about more ink. So today what we decided to talk about is green, with this being March and St. Patrick's Day being around the corner. We thought it would be a great time to discuss green inks. So we've chosen 4 that we feel are middle of the road inks, like middle of the road green, and we're going to talk to you about them. So what have you got for us first?
Okay, so I feel like all the 4 inks that we're going to talk about are pretty similar in color. So on some of the, on the artwork I did, I mixed it with water. So you'll be able to see the different green tones a little bit better that way. So the first one we're going to talk about, of course, is Shamrock by Krishna. Because we had to do that one, which is a great color. It comes in a little...
all the Krishnas come in these small bottles except the Lyrebird Blue, I think.
Yeah.
And they come in these nice little easy-to-use bottles. And the great thing about them is you can empty a bottle pretty fast. So it's kind of nice. You can feel good about going through a whole bottle of ink.
So you can use Krishna on the challenges. You know, the empty bottle challenges. So those will be good to use. So, and we love the Krishna ink also.
We do.
So, Shamrock is, and we'll show close-ups of these when Davina edits the video. But, so the swatch looks like a darker green.
And that was with the coloring paper. The same paper that is used on the coloring and the Colodexes as well. And so we really like that paper, and it shows the sheen pretty well.
So the Shamrock Krishna on the Rhodia paper, I used a ruling pen to write. I used a Bock nib to draw the shamrock, and then I added water to fill in the shamrock, so it can give you a little bit of a dimension
shading
color. Yeah. So I feel like this green has a little bit of a yellow tint
Just
to
a
it.
smidge. But it's a good green.
I love it. It's
I consider it like a fairly true green.
I would say like a Kelly green, maybe. It's what I would call it. And here on the swatch, it does not look Kelly green. But on the Rhodia paper, it does look more like a Kelly green.
It's always so interesting. We need to do a discussion on how the paper affects
Yeah, we do
all
need
the
to do a video
things.
on the paper,
It's just
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
But I do like that Krishna Shamrock for, it's a good spring even color. Grass green, Kelly green. It's a good one.
Yep.
So next up, it looks like we have Tasha Midori green. And on the coloring paper, it looks really good. It's almost olivey, but not quite. What do you think?
I mean, the darker shading part looks a little bit olive.
It definitely came out darker on your Rhodia sample that you did.
And again, I used a ruling pen
I just
to
caught
write.
onto the bottle.
Oh yeah, the Midori. Yeah, I had to draw a bottle of Midori liquor to put on there. So yeah, it's a nice.
It's a deep, rich green.
It is a deeper,
There's not yellow. I don't see the yellow undertone.
No.
Do you? It's a good one. And at $12 a bottle,
And it comes boxed.
I really like the bottle. It's a nice shape. It's deep enough that you can get the nib into without issue, and it's got a wide opening. And
Yeah,
at $12,
I do like the
it's super
wide opening.
reasonable.
When I mix it with the water on the bottle, you can see more blue tones that come out when you mix it with the water, which is kind of cool. So
I do like it. I like how it turned out when you mix it with the water, actually. Next up, Califolio, which the brand in general is one of my favorites, my personal favorites. And we decided Teodora was a good green. It's a Teodora.
Teodora. This is on the coloring. This is on Rhodia. And I used the ruling pen to write both words there. And then I used the Bock nib to draw the moon and filled in with water on that. For me, the Califolio is dry. It's a drier ink.
That's why I like it.
Yeah. Because you're left-handed.
Right.
So it's nice.
I like that it has some shading properties and it washes out easily. And this is one of those that's mixable. So this ink is a mixable ink. They're made that way so that you can mix and match and create new colors. So I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is very cool. That is very cool.
It's got just a little bit of yellow undertone, maybe.
Yeah, and it sheens.
A little bit
On
of sheen
the
the-
coloring, it sheened. So that's nice.
But there's definite shading on this. when you get
shading, it shades nicely. It
Sheen.
sheens.
The potential
it may
is
or may
there
not
for all the
sheen for
things.
you, but the potential is there. Yes.
So this ink, Teodora, comes in bottles, bags, and samples. So we're going to show you guys the bag. So you can put it in your favorite old bottle. For those of you who have old Ackerman bottles or even old Waterman bottles, this is really cool because it's a 50 milliliter package and it's less expensive this way. And it's kind of handy to have this for those who go to a show or traveling. It ships well.
Is this the only brand that does a bag like this?
There are a few other brands. This is the only brand we carry that has the bag.
I think that's cool. they
And
do
it
that.
also says, do not drink.
It does look like a Capri Sun.
It
I like
does. It does.
So,
So I like it. I like their inks. They don't go overboard with the packaging or anything. They keep them really simple. So they have bags, bottles, and samples. And finally,
last but not least,
we went with Pelikan Dark Green. It's just really, it's also a little bit on the dry side, but not too much so. I see more a blue undertone than I do yellow undertone.
it's dark on the coloring paper.
And it's pretty dark on here as well.
And again, I used a rolling pin to write on the Rhodia paper.
It has some nice shading going on.
It does. And when you mix it with the water, again, I feel like it shows a little bit of a blue undertone to it. But I love how it shades. Love the shading of this.
That you did a good job at it. Showed the shading off really nicely.
And again, that's same with the ruling pen. So if you're using a fine nib or extra fine, it's not going to show as much shading. But this is how we kind of like to do it to show you that the potential is there.
And the thicker the coating the paper, like the Tomoe, which we didn't do on this, I didn't have you do on this, is going to create a little bit different effect for sure, because that ink's going to sit there longer before it dries. I like this one. I don't know, do you have a favorite that makes you think St. Patrick's Day?
Well, I think the Shamrock.
Is the obvious choice?
And yeah, I just love that yellow undertone to it. I really like it a lot. It's a nice behaving ink. So out of these four, I'm going to say that the Krishna Shamrock is my favorite out of these four greens.
Oh, I forgot.
Oh,
And I like that one, but I forgot to discuss Pelikan.
Oh yeah, the sizes of Pelikan.
So Pelikan comes in cartridges. So you can get what's called international cartridges in the Pelikan Dark Green. And these are a little 6-pack, and they're $3.50. This is the smaller package of the dark green Pelikan, and then she has the 62.5. So this is, I forgot, 30 mils? And that's 62.5 mils. So
I like the shape of their bottles. It's nice.
yeah, I do too. It's a simple, it has a nice wide opening as well. So the 30 mil is $10.75, and then the larger bottle is $14. So these are nice.
I like the Pelikan ink a lot.
And you get plenty of options. Pelikan always does the cartridges and the bottles, and that makes things kind of nice for those who are traveling or just don't feel like that they're ready for a bottle yet. So it's a good way to test it. We also have samples of these as well. So if you guys have any other questions for us, you know that you can click the link below and just feel free to leave us anything that you'd like to say. And also, don't forget that you can follow us by clicking the little button, and the bell is... I'm not very good at this. Somewhere up there. We really enjoy doing these videos, and we hope you enjoy watching them. We do struggle with choosing the colors that we've, like final decision is really tough for us. I know we looked at several greens before we settled on these greens because we actually had one other green chosen and we decided that they were all too similar. So we took one out of the mix.
Which one of these is your favorite green?
I would say either Shamrock or the Teodora.
I knew you were going to say Teodora.
Oh, Lavastra is my favorite, but it didn't fit into this.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like it because it's mixable. But I do like that Shamrock. And I'll be honest, I hadn't used that color. So until I saw your what you did with it art-wise, it really didn't occur to me that I might like it.
Yeah.
But I do tend to like that yellow undertone.
I think it's one that gets overlooked.
I do too. I agree.
lot.
And I am guilty of overlooking it. But when I see it right there, I'm like, that's a nice, good, bright color without being like too light to read.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually really do like that. And I think Shamrock's the right name for that color
I think
as
so
well.
too. It's a nice spring green. Yeah.
Which, it's springtime. Yay. Well, you guys, thank you so much. We're doing our typical Southern goodbye where we spend 2 minutes saying goodbye. And we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.